Bloodshot seems to have appeared out of nowhere and managed to turn heads right away. And we're here today to tell you that there has been a tease from Vin Diesel himself about a sequel in the near future. First, today we're gonna take a first look into things and tell you everything we know so far. Enjoy! Bloodshot 2 tease.
Soldiers like yourself. You're the first who we've successfully managed to bring back.
Vin Diesel teased the public with some news about the upcoming Bloodshot 2 after the movie being confirmed by DMG Entertainment at the end of 2020. The company behind Valiant Comics, the creators of the titular character, Bloodshot, also known as Ray Garrison, is a super soldier with little memory of his past life and made his first debut in the comics way back in 1992. And despite the whole ongoing situation with the pandemic, Sony decided to release Bloodshot, and it proved to be the right choice by the company. Because the movie was not a total loss like many expected at the time, but the film became somewhat of a home entertainment hit throughout the year, families around the world watching it over and over on their small screens at their homes. Following the titular character Ray Garrison, or Bloodshot, portrayed by Vin Diesel, the movie saw Marine getting resurrected as a part bionic super soldier, exacting revenge on those who killed him and his wife, with the movie being the first film in a Valiant Comics cinematic universe. And after the confirmation coming from DMG Entertainment, Vin Diesel had a few things to say about it. Vin Diesel via Instagram shared an image of himself in character, clothes torn, bullet-ridden, walking away from an explosion. Not much accompanied the photo except the caption that reads, "So much great news to share. Have a great week. #Bloodshot." Despite the unlucky release timing and mediocre reviews, Bloodshot appeared to be a much smarter comic book film than what many expected at first glance. With his memories foggy and disoriented, Garrison's unrelenting revenge mission becomes incredibly psychological, a perfect set of motion for the plot of the movie that is also the perfect setup for a sequel in the future. And that's exactly what happened. Other heroes in the Valiant Comics gallery include the likes of Secret Agent Ninjak, New Japan Warrior Rai, and interstellar superweapon-wielding XO Manowar, the latter of whom John Cena has recently attached to play, rejoining with Vin Diesel after their endeavors in the last Fast and Furious 9 movie. All of the characters listed above have incredible powers and carry a vast, colorful lineage, thus creating a cinematic universe around them is a no-brainer, raising one question in the process: how did this not happen before? While Diesel's recent news announcement is vague, it can help conjure up excitement as to what the sequel might be and what the sequel could mean for the future of his role as Bloodshot. At the end of the last movie, Ray went on to begin a new life, but the direction of the second movie could take this ending and spread it everywhere. There are a lot of possibilities, whether the movie follows the Valiant Comics or not. From the post, we can see that Diesel is in top form, a promising sign that the upcoming Bloodshot 2 news will be worth the wait. And although this movie will have a tough time with the likes of the MCU, the Valiant Comics cinematic universe could find its footing with the sequel and pull even more source material, setting itself up as part of one smaller cinematic universe, which we will all love and cherish. And only thing we hope to see about the sequel is for it to have a less complicated release than its predecessor. Release date and trailer.
Gina, I'm home.
As for the release side of things, considering the office performances of the first movie being high enough for its standards, we're not surprised the movie is so quick on its feet to get a sequel too. The first movie was in development for a few years, but it moved forward rather quickly once Diesel signed on as the lead in the movie, taking on the role of the titular character. Production on the first movie began in summer 2018, so it could arrive in theaters in the early months of 2020. So for the sequel, if it were to take a year for the script to be written and the pre-production to be done, and plus another year on that to get it ready for a release, it's possible that we might get the sequel's arrival as soon as 2022. However, it's less likely than what many expect for the movie's release to be in the early stages of 2023, a safer bet to say the least. However, for a trailer of sorts, we would have to wait probably one more year if the sequel follows the first movie. Knowing the movie released in March 2020 and the trailer was released 5 months before that, we'll definitely get a teaser or a short clip to say the least during 2021, even if the movie releases in 2023.
Okay, who is the next target?
Cast.
Revenge is what makes a man like you exceptional.
You know nothing about men like me.
Not much is known about the cast, but outside of Vin Diesel as Ray Garrison or Bloodshot, we should also expect the cast from the first movie to be back in the sequel too, such as Sam Heughan as Jimmy Dalton, Eiza Gonzalez as Katie, Guy Pearce as Dr. Emil Harting, Toby Kebbell as Martin Axe, Lamorne Morris as Wilfred Wiggins, Johannes Hawker Johannesson as Nick Barris, Tallulah Riley as Gina Harrison, Alex Hernandez as Marcus Tibbs, Tamir Burjak as Mombasa Gunman, and Siddharth Dhananjay as Eric. Outside of these cast members, we'll probably get some news about other actors joining the cast group, such as the recent news of John Cena and him becoming part of the sequel. The only thing is that we'll just have to wait and see for ourselves.
Okay, who is the next target for elimination?
Plot.
Do I know you guys?
I don't think so.
Now that Bloodshot 2 is announced and confirmed by DMG Entertainment, the possibilities for where the plot might take us are endless, considering how big the Valiant Comics universe is. The first movie doesn't set itself up as a direct one on which a sequel might be added to it. Why is this? Well, the curious thing about the ending of the first movie is whether it's real or a simulation. Wilfred's awareness that riding off into the sunset might be a simulation, if this is true, that Ray, Katie, and Wilfred are all hooked up together to one shared memory, with fake Wilfred there to raise suspicion. Because the movie itself sets up the idea of a shared simulation, that is, when Katie first decides to rebel against RST and rescue Ray, she enters his simulated marine mission to bring him out, an action that meant introducing the idea that other consciousness can be entered into these dreamlike realities. And as for why this hypothetical mystery enemy would capture Ray, Katie, and Wilfred, putting the trio in simulated reality, perhaps the shady organization sees value in their new acquisitions as a team. Knowing this, and the undefined ending of the movie, the sequel allows the writer and the director of the sequel almost complete freedom in crafting a story and developing any character of it. This would also prove very valuable towards the Valiant Comics cinematic universe, as the sequel might be the real deal when it comes to the narrative of the story, and it brings more and more characters into the universe, creating a bigger one. There are multiple volumes of Bloodshot comics that a sequel could borrow inspiration from, a chance given to the writers to introduce many more characters from his universe, expanding it even further. The sequel could also reveal more about Ray's background or adapt a story where he decides to give up his powers only to get them back when a group of imposters go on a killing spree. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what do you think about the first movie, what has been your favorite thing about it, and what would you want to see in the sequel as well? And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.